Movie Making with Renelle Golden is excited to have Ancara Holgate with us today. She's a children's book author, and we're going to be talking about her existing book and her new book coming up. Stay tuned. Movie Making with Renelle Golden is brought to you by Samira Entertainment, supporting indie films and the filmmakers who create them. Stop by their website to learn more. www.samiraentertainment.com. That's www.sameraentertainment.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. We are with Ancara Holgate. She is an author of just some beautiful children's books. Juke and Summer is out now, and she has another one coming up soon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Renella.
I'm so excited to have you here. I was looking at your books, and they're just beautiful. And I know one you have out now, Juke and Summer. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's right. Juke and Summer. That's perfect. Yes.
And what inspired that? Was it inspired by stories from your life, or just something creative that you came up with?
Juke and Summer was actually inspired by my childhood growing up back in Jamaica.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't, even though I didn't have a pet, growing up, I really wanted a pet dog, and I just didn't have a dog. And going back a few years back, my mom was diagnosed, with MS, and
yes, that's serious.
I write everything down like in a diary, my thoughts, because at the time I was at a very low place, and it had helped me to cope.
Yeah.
So in that moment when I was just writing anything down, I, start remembering when I was growing up how I love me and my sister was and stuff like that, and just memories of her. And then I thought to myself, if I could write something about the younger me and a dog, what could that be, and how would that be? And then in the instant, Duke and Summer just, like, I like to say, it was
Came to
born.
be. Oh, wow. Wow.
Absolutely.
So you incorporated like some stories that were inspired by things you did as a child and places you went?
There wasn't actually places I went, but the story, how I did the story, it was like, if I had a dog back then, that bond that I showed in the book, and that loyalty, that love, and the great friendship that they shared, that's how I would have wanted things to be.
Yes.
So, yeah, so I just put
beautiful.
Thank you.
Have you well, your kids are older now, but have you taken it and read it to children to see their reactions? And have you experienced that yet?
Absolutely. I've been to a lot of schools. The one that was a highlight for me was my kids' school, primary school that they both went to. I went back. All the kids recognized me because my kids go there, and they were like, "Oh, that is so cool!"
It is.
Yeah, it was really, really excited. So,
I love the illustrations in the book. They really bring it to life, just beautifully. You definitely found a wonderful illustrator for your story. I don't know on children's books if we want to keep this a surprise or not, but can you tell us a little bit about what the story's about?
You mean the second book, or Duke and Summer?
Duke and Summer, and then we'll talk about the next one.
Okay. So Duke and Summer, it's just basically a nice small book. It's 32 pages. And it's about a great bond between a little girl and her dog. In the story, it shows you where they play, where they explore, when she was going off to school, and how she wanted to take Duke to school, and her mom was like, you can't take Duke to school, Summer. I know. And she wasn't
not?
pleased. I know, right? Maybe in book 2 we'll find out.
Yeah, there you go. Is it going to be a series? Have you ever thought about another book on it?
I've got another part coming next year. Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. On the same. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. It is so gorgeous. And I know that, there's, me being a filmmaker, I see this and I'm like, oh, children, animation, stories that have meaning and are sweet and purposeful for kids. And have you ever thought about that?
I have actually thought about it because at the beginning I never actually thought about it because my aim was to give kids that feeling of because when I was growing up, I used to love reading stories,
Yeah.
and it used to give me this safe, warm feeling. And as I wrote that book, all I could imagine was kids having that same feeling I had when I was growing up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I didn't actually think that far, but it was after when I published the book and it became so popular and they're in schools and they're like in about 8 countries.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
and then I made these hoodies
Oh,
and
yes, so cute. Yes.
and, and then everybody was like, I could see that in an animation, and I was like, everybody was like, at first I thought it was like advertisement of something, and I like that would be actually cool.
It
That would be
would
really
be
nice.
really cool. Oh my gosh, yes. I always wish I could draw because for somebody to capture the story you're telling in pictures is
Yeah.
amazing. It's just it's so hard to tell our stories to begin with and then to have it become a visual medium. It's beautiful. I just love it. It's so exciting. So now you do have another book that you're getting ready to release, and tell me a little bit about that one.
Oh, that this one it really really means a lot to me. The second book, Duke and Summer, means a lot to me as well. But this one is just a whole more emotions and everything got in the second one. The second one, it's about mermaids and fairies all in one book.
Oh, wow.
It's 10 characters.
Oh,
Um, absolutely, yeah. The two main characters, they're Aurora, which is a little fairy, and Toriella, which is the mermaid. They're on the
okay.
cover. And Aurora is a representation of me because in the story, Aurora is the smallest fairy of the entire forest that called Majestic Fall.
Okay.
And she's not just only the smallest fairy, she's the bravest, she's the strongest, the most courageous.
She's like a little fireball. She can do it all, but doesn't know it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it just shows it doesn't matter where you're from. It's all about unity and working together and what you can achieve working together.
Oh, wow. So she becomes friends with the mermaid.
Absolutely, they become
How does a
friends.
fairy meet a mermaid?
Wow.
Or I maybe we can't give that away, but maybe.
Absolutely, I can tell you a little bit because the book is releasing next month. So absolutely, I can
Oh,
tell you
that's so
a little
cool.
bit.
Okay.
So Aurora, she's the smallest of 4 sisters, but she's also very curious. She always wants to know what's going on. She always want to venture out. She always want to push the boundaries,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So one day she strayed from her duties because they all have their own duties at Majestic Falls.
Right.
So she saw this path and she decided to, explore. So
Oh.
each day she go a little bit closer, she built her courage up, and then finally she decided to on her way she get to this ocean and she gets to this path and she discovered this ocean
Yeah.
and she was so mesmerized by it she have to go back and see, what's it about.
Yeah.
So she kind of went back the next day and she saw this green light and she hid and called that, and that was Tariella coming to land for the first time.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love it. This one definitely is going to be a series, maybe.
Absolutely.
That's good.
It, this one it has to be a two-part because there's so much characters and there's so much to explore.
Oh, wow.
Because also in there's an octopus called King Leroy, and based the character of my dad because King Leroy
Oh,
is like the protector of Tariella.
oh, wow. I kind of
So
see him on the cover. He's peeking his head
absolutely,
around.
yeah,
Okay.
on
Oh,
the
how
cover.
funny. He's an Henri character, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
He's a good guy, but Henri, like funny.
Yep.
Wow. So you have all kinds of characters in this story, and
Yeah.
it comes out next month. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. If
Yeah.
people,
I'm having a launch party next month.
wow, that's congratulations. That's so exciting. If people want to like find your books and check them out, how do they do that?
They're on my website.
Which is your name,
It's
um,
Ancara. Yeah.
Ancara
Holgate.
Holgate, right? So
Yeah.
ANCARAHOLGATE.com, and they can find your books on there. So will
Yeah.
they also be on Amazon and things like that?
Yes, Duke and Summer is on Amazon. It's available in the United States and obviously in the UK. So it can be accessed anywhere, to be honest, on Amazon.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I definitely want to check them out. I love this next book you have coming out because the world is so big and your stories could be just endless and you could incorporate so many themes and characters in them. What do your kids think about mom becoming a writer?
Oh my God, they're over the moon. My little lad was like, "I'm so proud of you, Mum." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah." And my daughter was like, "I'm really proud of you, Mum." So
wow. Can you believe that you made this transition? You never saw this for your life, right?
no, I did it. Growing up, I always say to myself, I really want to write children's book. Because I love stories. I love writing because it just literally takes me to a whole new place.
It
A
does.
place
Yeah.
that is very hard to describe if you're not somebody that writes. And if somebody
Right.
who writes, they'll understand.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up wanting to be only a musician, a singer, songwriter. And then, life happens. And it was funny because I became a writer after going blind. And
Oh wow.
it's kind of a weird story, but I had a performing arts school and I woke up one day and part of my vision was gone. And so, long story short, without all the nitty gritty, I had to close the school. And in the process of like just feeling like I lost everything, my daughter, who was a teenager
Oh,
at the time, was like, Mom, you're not going to lay around in bed and feel sorry for yourself. And she put me on Facebook in a writer's group of all things.
oh
And next
wow.
thing I know, I had met this person that I wrote my first screenplays with. And he said, well, let's be miserable together because he was also going through his challenges in life, health wise and family wise. And
Uh-huh.
we wrote like a TV series, multiple screenplays within, I don't know, half a year or something. And the rest
That's
is history,
incredible.
right? It was just,
That
I
is.
never, ever thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a writer. But I love it. And I love storytelling. There's something empowering about it. And to be able to live in that imaginary world, but also kind of deal with real issues. And I know for
Absolutely.
you kind of
Mhm.
writing became real, born out of something that was somewhat traumatic and difficult for
Very,
you.
very, very traumatic. Very,
Uh,
yeah.
how is this too nosy to ask? But how is your mom today?
She's not doing too great, but I like to say, she's hanging in there and she's still here for a reason. And I'm just
Yeah.
grateful that, even though she doesn't recognize who I am, the fact
Oh,
that I know the fact that I know who she is, and I want to make her proud. It literally kept me going. It literally gave me that like that determination to say, I
you go
have
on
to do.
and do something. Yeah. Were you able to like read your stories to her to share your first story?
I didn't get the chance to.
Oh, I'm so
I,
sorry.
I wish I had because once you were diagnosed, I started writing the stories and I just put them down because it was a coping mechanism for me. It was like therapeutic
Yeah.
because I was at a low place. I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And then my aunt, I confided in her one day. I just say to her, I don't know why, but one day I just say to her, I've got something to show you.
Oh,
And
wow.
out of all the stories that I've wrote, for some reason I showed her Duke and Summer first.
Oh,
And she
wow.
She loved it. And she says, "Oh, you really need to publish this. Kids will love it." And I
Yes.
was like, "Nah, you're just saying that."
Right, right, right.
And
Oh,
life just happened, and I didn't do nothing still. And without boring you, um, she I know she got diagnosed with cancer, with stage 4 cancer.
ah,
I know. And
now they live on in these books and your stories because you're honoring someone who encouraged you to do more. And that's pretty powerful all by itself because every time you publish a book, you know that you are doing this with somebody that's kind of there, proud of you, watching over you in your heart. There's not a good way to say that, but it does it does motivate us to do more while we're here for
it
ourselves and for our
really
children.
does, because the thing is, what really pushes me as well every time I pick a pen up, because I didn't believe in myself 100%. And for the fact that she saw something, and she totally believed in me, and it took for a death for me to, like, you can do this and publish the book.
Yeah. Sometimes we just need that one person to believe in us, to start believing in ourselves. And that's kind of beautiful all by itself. So when you go to start a story, what is your process? Do you have kind of a process?
I do. I don't try to set a time to write, because sometimes when I do, you like hit a blank wall. I can be just driving and I start picturing something, and I'll just pull over at the safest place.
And write it
And
down?
I travel with a bag and loads of pens and
Oh, I
notepads.
love that. I love it.
And,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'll
I
just
do
pull
something
over.
similar with the note on, your phones, they have the notepad. I'll pull it up and I'll just dictate in there that this, or that, because I have the weirdest thoughts at the weirdest times. And you can't ignore them
Exactly.
because something great might be missed.
Absolutely.
I love that. So do
So
you
that's what
write
I
by
do.
hand?
Oh, absolutely. I can't do it by computer. I did everything by hand.
Oh,
And then when
wow.
I'm comfortable with what I've put down, I'll transfer it to a draft or something after. But I do
Gotcha.
everything by hand.
Oh,
Literally.
wow. What was the process in designing your first book? What was that like?
Oh, it was quite daunting. It was scary. It was all the words you can think of that will put you off. But
Yeah.
a
It's
bit, a
probably
bit.
emotional. It's your baby.
Well, yeah, because I called some of my third child. I was
Yes.
like, my third child.
I love that. It's wonderful. Well, I can see both of these becoming like animations and series and such. What kind of advice would you give somebody who just thinks just maybe I should write a story, but they're scared?
I would say, don't listen to that little voice in your head. If you're scared, just go for it. Absolutely go for it, because there's there's the worst thing is self-doubt. Self-doubt is a killer of dreams.
It is. Boy, you said that right. It's worse than so many other things, isn't it? What about,
Absolutely.
yeah, what about for people that need to like brand themselves and get the word out there once they've completed their project? Because that's a creature all by itself, spreading the word and
The
how.
thing is, you have to be. You can't be laid back, or because you can have a good story and nobody knows about it. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
And I always say, nobody know your product like you. Nobody will market your story like you, because only you know what's gone into it. Only you know the passion, and only you know the story behind it.
that's true. That is true. Do you think it's important that, writers of books have a presence across, like, we're so big on social media now, but do you think it's important to have that social media across everything, or just one place and put your heart into it? Like, what do you think a
I
writer should
think
do
I think
now?
if you're a person that can multitask, you can have them across everything. Why not? But if you're the kind of person with limited time, or you can't be focusing on things that spread here and there, it's best to just put your everything in that one, and then you give it a good shot.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm really good at it. And sometimes I'm just like, no, not again. Because,
Yeah, I literally tell myself when I did this, that because I did self-publishing, I'm going to do this myself. I just wanted to prove to myself that, look, you can do this. And Duke and Summer is sold more than over 800 copies, and I'm like, so I know
wow.
that I could do this. And I just approach people in the supermarket with kids. I
I was
always
going to
just
ask you.
and I live in these t-shirt and hoodies, and guarantee when I go to the supermarket, somebody will say, "Oh, that's lovely," and then the conversation started, and I'm like, "Oh, I wrote this book."
Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe you have one tip that could help somebody that's self-publishing?
Be consistent.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
to get up. You got to get up every day and show up. You have to get up every. There's no day off.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's good advice. I'm really bad about it. So that's really good advice. So when does Aurora and Tarella, did I say it right?
Aurora and Tariella.
Tariella. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. Tariella. When does that come out? When are you releasing that?
I'm releasing. I've got quite a few pre-orders. So what I'm planning to do is send those pre-orders out next month, and then I'm having a launch party the last Saturday in August, so I can do a signing then, and everybody can have their book signed who wants to sign a copy.
Oh, that's so cool. That is
Yeah.
cool. Will that one be available in the US too, or?
It will be available in the US, because I'm going to put it on Amazon. But I do post anywhere also. So
Oh, I
literally,
love it. I love it.
I'll post out.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is good to know. What else? Let's see. So writing for you is cathartic, and I would love to see these as animation. What else? Do you have any other storylines you're going to surprise us with later? Have you thought about it yet?
I have thought about it, but I don't want to say much on it at the moment.
That's fair. That's okay. I'm
But
like,
yeah,
tell
but
me your secrets.
what I can say though is, in book one with Aurora and Tariella, because it's the kingdom of mermaids and Majestic Fall where the fairies live. I want to go back and tell you the story of Tariella's mum, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
character called Cinderon. He's a baddie. So I want to go back and tell the story in book two why Cinderon is the way he is.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Well, I actually want to like look at both of these books. They're beautiful. I wish I still had little kids to read them to, but hey, I'm not all that grown up myself. So it's perfectly fine. Well, I have loved talking to you. And when you get ready and to do your book signing, I would love to talk to you some more and find out, how the release of Aurora has done
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
what else do you have going on. So what I like to do the last few minutes is I want to ask you 5 questions that are kind of fun, like 5 for 5. If you're ready, then I will begin.
Okay.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite food?
Oh, it'll just have to be fish. I love fish because I'm not keen on meat. So I have to be
Any
fish.
kind of fish, right? Oh, I love it. Okay.
Any fish.
Oh, that's so funny. What is your favorite thing to drink after a long day?
It have to be water with a bit of lime in it.
Oh, I love it. I was surprised when I ask people that question, but most people love water, which is a sign that we're healthy, right? I hope. Maybe. I'm like, water with what? No.
Water with a bit of lime in it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So what is one thing you have always dreamed of doing, but have not done yet?
Ooh, I want to do hiking, but I'm not brave enough.
No
I want to
hiking
go.
anywhere?
I want,
Like
I
on a
want to go.
mountain?
No, I want to go hiking in a mountain, a very iconic mountain. But I'm
Oh,
not brave enough to to do
So,
it.
okay, so one day, right? It's crazy the things people want to do, but I think hiking is reasonable. I love that. Somebody wanted to like run with the
I'm
bulls.
scared of heights, so hiking for me would be
Oh,
a challenge.
oh, wow. So that's like overcoming your fear and a bucket list item. I love that.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Okay, what is your favorite song to sing at the top of your lungs when you're driving in your car?
If I could turn back time.
Oh, I love that.
I love
That's
Cher. I
yes, I was
love
gonna say
Cher.
that's Cher. I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, which is a really good song, actually. I wish I could. What is your favorite movie?
Oh wow, I've got so much. I literally haven't got. I've got so much.
Okay, how about a movie
I
you
love The Lord of the
watched?
Rings. I absolutely love
Oh
The Lord of the
yes. Okay, I love Lord of the Rings too. That is good. The whole series or just one?
Rings. The entire thing. I could watch them over and over like on a loop
They're
because it's
fascinating.
something to
Yeah.
see.
I have tried to make my kids watch that because it's one of my favorites. And
It's
my
really
daughter in
good.
particularly, she falls asleep every time. And I'm like,
It's
how can you fall asleep? But
together.
yeah, she's 28. She's like, I'm over that.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. Well, you have been awesome coming here to talk to me today. Please, please come back when you do your next book. And we're going to have to figure out how to make these animated stories too, because they're so
absolutely.
beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait. But have a wonderful day. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Today's show is sponsored by Gym Kitty, helping women on their health and wellness journey by providing high-quality, organically sourced vitamins and supplements. Visit them today at www.gymkitty.net. You've been listening to Movie Making with Renelle Golden. Be sure to come back for our next episode where we bring you the people who make movies you love. Got a topic about filmmaking you want to hear on our podcast? Send us an email at moviemakingpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast has been sponsored by Samara Entertainment.